By year 3 of being the crown prince of Beijing, high society's caged canary, I wanted out. No one warned me back then that Jason's appetite was this intense. 3 years in, and he still wasn't tired of me. My back was about to snap from all his antics. Adults should want the same thing, right? Me, I prefer younger guys who are a little wild. The moment his first love came back to China, I didn't hesitate. I grabbed the money and left. I hadn't realized the capital's crown prince was a total psycho. After he had me dragged back, he pinned me down in the middle of the night, trying every trick in the book. "You like them wild?" Ignoring my pleas, he drove in hard. "How about now wild enough?" I hadn't realized the capital's crown prince was a total psycho. After he had me dragged back, he pinned me down in the middle of the night, trying every trick in the book. "You like them wild?" He ignored my pleas and slammed into me. "How about now wild enough?" Back then, to become Jason's lover, I trained day and night, worked on my wardrobe, polish, and poise, and clawed my way past a pack of hungry women. I climbed into his bed and slept with him. As the crown prince of Beijing high society, Jason wielded staggering power, and his looks and build could stand beside any movie star. He indulged most of my bratty whims, but he was cold by nature and domineering. He wore the face of a saint, yet at night he had zero restraint. In bed, he was like a machine. No finesse, no foreplay, just endless stamina, working me to death and back, again and again. After every round, I was covered in possessive bites, while his abs and back bore the nail marks I left while crying out scorching to look at. He barely reacted. He even liked me clawing him. Afterward, he'd take his time, scoop me up, and carry me to the shower. Water beat down from the shower head, but the heat between us only flared higher. In that 3-story villa, we'd left our mark in almost every corner. I was numb. When I first slept with him, I hadn't realized how insatiable he was. My plan was to wait till he got bored, take the money, and bow out to keep a younger, more obedient boy toy of my own. But waiting turned into 3 years. How was Jason still not tired of me? On TV, the business channel was interviewing a man in a suit, poised and cool, aristocratic between the brows. Off-screen, I lounged on the sofa, legs crossed, mowing through chips. The business mogul being interviewed was Jason, sharing his experience. His expression was mild, his presence overwhelming. I saw him every day, sure, but on TV he felt different. I had no idea what he was talking about. I munched on chips, staring at his mouth on the screen, red, full. Funny, it hadn't looked this good when I kissed it last night. He gazed at the camera, face unreadable, answering at an unhurried pace. That ascetic, aloof alpha aura pressed down hard. Such a prude yesterday, he had me on his lap, kissing me senseless. I kept crunching chips. Maybe the venue was hot. Halfway through, he loosened his tie. A sharp-eyed reporter quickly noticed the suggestive red mark on his neck. "Mr. Jason, what's that on your neck?" he said coolly. "Mosquito bite. It looks a lot like a hickey." My heart skipped. I'd put it there. He was too rough last night, and I bit his neck to make him ease up. Now my handiwork was splashed across a business interview, on the Crown Prince of Beijing's neck. Even with my thick skin, my face burned. Truth is, there were more below the collar. Everyone's eyes were on his neck, waiting. With the ease of a man long in power, he tapped the table with his knuckles. "That's a private matter. Next." The interview continued. But within 20 minutes, it hit the trending list. "Red mark on Beijing Prince Jason's neck looks like a hickey. Ascetic billionaire finally gets some. Is Jason on top or on bottom?" Jason kept his canary well hidden. He wasn't a celebrity, but as the capital's crown prince with a killer face, he had plenty of followers online. He never went public about keeping me. Only a few close friends in his circle knew. Outsiders said he wasn't into women. Some even claimed he liked men. Once it trended, everyone asked who'd planted that strawberry on the prince's neck. On Weibo, socialites and starlets posted teasing lines. The topic shot to #1 until netizens dug around and found it was just clout chasing. as the culprit. I still didn't get why Jason did it. A man that's shrewd wouldn't forget a hickey on his own neck. Why flash it for the media? 3 years with him, and I still couldn't read him. Until my best friend messaged me. She's coming back. I got it then. Jason's first love from his youth was returning the pretty girl who once redeemed him and then tossed him aside. Jason holds grudges. Cross him and he'll crush you. He stirred up the rumors on purpose, for her to see. I knew he still loved that girl. I'd gotten close to him because my face looked a lot like hers. I was just a piece in their love and war play. So what? I'd made my money finally. Eyes misting. I counted the dozens of cards in my hand and looked over the rooms packed with luxury clothes and bags. When his first love came back, I could make a smooth exit with my treasures. God knows how long I've waited. My back and legs still ached. Once I left, I was going to use that money to be the patron for once keep a sweet, well-behaved boy toy. Jason came home to find me padding around the living room barefoot. He frowned. Come here. In a great mood, I trotted over. He scooped me up in a bridal carry. No way, just got back and he wants to go again? My back twinged. I squirmed. It's not even dark yet. Maybe not a good idea. He didn't answer. He didn't take me to the bedroom, just set me on the couch, then turned and left. Left? I blinked, confused until he came back in loungewear. The chill on him softened. He had a pair of cute bare-faced slippers in his hands. He crouched, fingers pressing my ankle as he slid them on. How many times have I told you the floor is cold? Why aren't you wearing shoes? His cool voice carried a hint of reproach, but it wasn't as icy and distant as on TV. I froze. My eyes dropped to his feet. He was wearing gray bear slippers that matched to my pink pair, a couple's set. They were my birthday gift to him. Jason lacked nothing. The money I spent was his anyway, and luxury purchases didn't impress him. While other tycoons sent priceless paintings and jade, I gave him matching house slippers. They were from a group buy on Pinduoduo. I only meant it as a casual gift. Never thought he'd actually wear them with me. The little gray bear looked goofy, but on Jason's feet it didn't cheapen him at all, made the slippers look classy instead. I even posted a photo in the reviews with my face blurred. He was in the study reading, wearing those slippers. Even with his face hidden, his striking presence and perfect proportions made the picture go viral overnight. The slippers' sales skyrocketed the next day. The shop owner even featured my pic as a premium review and DM'd me, trying to upsell socks, asking if I could take more photos. Truly the capital's crown prince, everything about him could mint money. Why are you laying all these cards out? He noticed them in my hand. I said, just counting for fun makes me feel secure. He looked vaguely helpless. I glanced at the clock, slid my arms around his neck. How come you're home so early today? Jason clearly liked my initiative. His sharp eyes softened, narrowing with pleasure. He ruffled my hair. Don't like me coming home early? Of course not, I said. But since Aunt Emily's off tonight, we'll have to cook for ourselves. I rolled up his sleeves for him. Then I pulled out an apron and slipped it over him. That same tycoon who'd cut through an interview like a storm this morning was now a homely man at the stove. I played sous chef. In the end, we made 4 dishes and a soup. I tasted one and couldn't help but praise. Your cooking's getting better and better. Thanks for the effort. Shameful to admit, but when Aunt Emily was gone, I was supposed to cook. My lethal skills in the kitchen had landed Jason in the hospital 3 times. For a man who'd never known failure. Besides his first love, I was his Waterloo. After that, he never let me cook again. He did it himself. Since being with me, his cooking was nearly 5-star chef level. I peeked up at him. Even eating, Jason was refined, exuding that natural magnetism. The way he held chopsticks, knuckles sharp, long fingers clean. Last night, it was these hands that... My mind flashed the wrong scene, and I shivered involuntarily. What was I thinking? I should focus on the sad truth. If Jason had never broken up with his first love, this would be their domestic bliss. I was just the stand-in, seasoning for his memories. Damn, his hands were long. No wonder they nearly killed me. My face must have looked twisted, What is it? He caught my stare and set down his chopsticks. Too salty? Damn. He'd asked me the exact same thing last night when he had me bent under him. No. Then finish it all. When would the mental mosaic stop? I scrambled to break the mood, but then his phone rang. He answered, and I could hear his breath catch. I need to head out. Eat without me. He changed in a rush and was gone. An hour later, a text came. Not coming back tonight. Go to bed. First time he'd ever walked out mid-meal and stayed away all night. Okay, miss you, I typed like the perfect lover. Sent a crying emoji. Then I popped open a bottle of 82 Lafite to celebrate. Tonight was mine, alone, a queen's night. Deep into a ranked game, a new WeChat request popped up. Jason's first love, Jessica. She added me and immediately sent a photo. A cute girl smiling bright, shoulder to shoulder with Jason. From that angle, he was looking down at her, gaze softer than I'd ever seen. She wrote, "What's mine will always be mine." I replied, "True. Diao Chan can't beat Zhang Liang early game. Zhang's crowd control and wave clear are too strong. But I'd recommend Diao Chan build a bloodthirster first. Lets her sustain any time." She sent back a string of question marks. I continued, "You're right, but you didn't consider the switch pressure on an electric fan. So whether sunny or rainy, Big Grey Wolf will always go after the sheep in Pleasant Goat's village. Even if Tom always gets bullied by Jack, SpongeBob still makes Patrick catch jellyfish. And if all this evidence can't stand in Black Cat Detective's court, what can?" She replied, "Psycho. Then nothing more." I kept sipping Lafite and grinding games. Jason didn't show for 5 days. Said he was on a business trip. Before. Impossible. No matter how busy, he'd still take the red eye home, just to hold me at night. But now, I could see traces of him all over her, moments. He wasn't in frame, but that watch he always wore peeked into view. I knew then. When Jessica hit top 10 national rank in King of Glory, it was my cue to go. The strong are always lonely. Grown-ups never break up with screaming fights. I'd always thought about leaving for a younger boy toy, but when the time came, I was reluctant. How many times in life do you meet a man this good? Still, I knew my life with him only existed because I looked like his first love. Can't be too greedy. I counted the cards again. Thank God for these. Only a man can fix wounds left by a man. Once I left Jason, I'd swap men daily. Come back. Now. On day 3 of my getaway, an unfamiliar number rang, and Jason's voice came through. My ticket was booked. I was at the gate, waiting to board. For the first time, I heard fury in his voice, and something like teeth grinding. He was mad? These days I'd blocked his calls, and WeChat, moved out with all the valuables. Clean break. 3 days later, he calls. Must have fought with his first love. Too soft to take it out on her. So he's after me instead. My tone was cooler than before. Why would I go back? Your first love's home, I'm just making space. Or should I stick around for a messy love triangle? Plenty of fish in the sea. I'm off to find myself a younger, stronger pup. Isabel! His voice was dark as a deep lake, terrifyingly cold. Say that again if you dare. For once, I didn't dare, not saying it. Busy on a date. I hung up. Moments later, Aunt Emily sent me a video. It was Jason tearing through the house, searching for me. The man who was always so cold and restrained had lost control, eyes dangerously dark. I sighed. Aunt Emily, you don't need to talk me into it. He and I are done. Aunt Emily. No, it's the slippers. Yeah, I took the slippers. No need to look for them. Since we've split, let me erase every trace of myself from his life. I had on sunglasses, looking like I'd put the past behind me. No, Miss Isabel. I mean, why did you take Mr. Jason's slippers too? After you left, he went crazy, running barefoot all over the place, looking for you. I'd just mopped the floor, it was slippery. He fell down the stairs. Been in a coma 3 days. Don't even know if he's awake yet. Run, just run. I really am his curse. Jason's the grudge-holding type. Without a peaceful breakup, he'll definitely come after me. The boarding call chimed, and I jumped up, only to be blocked by a group of men. I recognized the one in front. Jason's assistant, Jack. He smiled, sympathy in his eyes. Please, Miss Isabel. Mr. Jason is waiting in the hospital for your care. In the car, my mood was like being strapped into a roller coaster. Jack sat in front, on the phone. We found her at the airport. She's in the car now. Should be there in 20 minutes. Don't worry, Mr. Jason. At those words, Mr. Jason, I knew escape was hopeless. Jason had been in a coma 3 days, and the moment he woke, he tracked me down. I'd underestimated the Crown Prince of Beijing. My heart went cold. I gave up on pretending to use the bathroom mid-ride to slip away. I wouldn't get far and they'd drag me back. Better to accept my fate. I dug a pack of cookies from my bag and started chewing. If I didn't eat something tasty now, I might not get another chance. Regret bit at me. I'd said so many reckless things over the phone. Mocking him, bragging about finding a younger boy toy. Jason's pride and possessiveness was sky high. After provoking him like that, no way he'd let me off easy. 3 days and nights of forced love would be mild. Maybe he'd starve me first. And I hate being hungry most of all. Thinking this, I ripped open a bag of chips and crunched away. Jack turned in his seat at the sound. He was still on the phone. It's fine. Miss Isabel is eating chips. She looks fine, young man. Didn't see anyone with her when we found her. My hand jerked. I stuffed chips faster. I just didn't get it. His first love was back, so why cling to me? I was only his mistress, not his wife. Why couldn't I leave and find another patron? Adults get what they need from each other. I wasn't vain enough to think a man of his status couldn't live without me. Bitter truth was, I was only a stand-in. I did the night work, so what if I took some money and left? Never thought grabbing those slippers would make Jason tumble downstairs. A man raised like royalty, whose single step shook the capital felled by a staircase. Out cold 3 days and nights. Meeting me really was his doom. How would he deal with this curse of his? Rich people believe in fate most of all. Would he snuff me out quietly, without a trace? My fear peaked when Jack held out his phone. Miss Isabel, Mr. Jason has something to say. Stiff, I took it, forced a sweet voice. Honey, I heard you're in the hospital. I'm on my way. Wait for me. On the other end came a low chuckle. My heart clenched. Where's that cocky tone you used when you hung up on me? His voice was raspy, weary from too much sleep, but even deeper than usual. Not chasing after some young, energetic pup anymore? I was joking, babe. You've got endless energy. One of you is more than enough for me. No, wait, listen. I was just explaining. Explaining! My mouth was running wild. His tone grew darker. Good. I'll be waiting for your explanation. I want to see exactly how I alone am more than enough. He hung up. I stared out the window and sighed. Why did my back start aching already? I was wrong. What I said at the airport about younger guys was a joke. In the hospital's VIP ward, Jason had me pinned, kissing me breathless. The moment I arrived, his so-called punishment began. I thought his fury was from the fall down the stairs, but he only demanded to know where that boy toy was hiding. It was a joke. Fine, kiss me. But do you have to bite? I shoved at him, but he clamped my wrist. Joke? Not funny at all. His eyes were heavy with something unspoken. You think I'm old? I shuddered, blurting compliments. Of course not! I know you, you're just right. Not old at all. Maybe my surrender worked. He calmed. Just right? Where exactly? His arm still locked me in, while I perched gingerly on his lap, careful not to brush his injured left leg. Still, in this position, I couldn't ignore a very solid presence. Say it. Jason held me tighter, on purpose. My face burned. Thankfully, Jack knocked, needing him for something. I escaped that hospital play, though the VIP bed was admittedly comfy. But I would have died of shame because of me. Jason was hurt, unable to walk. These days I tended him myself, stuck by him 24 hours. While he ran online meetings, I played King of Glory at his side. Life was deceptively peaceful. My escape attempt seemed like a blip. No inhuman punishments came, but I knew it was just surface calm. Even when buried in work, he'd lift his head the moment I moved, watching like I'd leap out the window. But this was the 8th floor! Jumping would kill me! I sighed. Why was he this tense about me? His first love hadn't shown up all this time. Was she still sulking? Wanting to free myself sooner, I sat beside him after a video meeting ended. I began, but he pinched my chin and kissed me. Be good. I've got another meeting. I'll satisfy you later. Wait, wrong idea. No, I meant. He ruffled my hair, shut his laptop. A touch helpless. Fine. Meeting pushed to tonight. We'll do our thing first. He leaned in again. Damn. Did I look that desperate? No, really not. After a long explanation, he reluctantly let me go. He slid on gold-rimmed glasses. Back to CEO mode. What is it? I kept some distance, spoke earnestly. Women, sometimes we bottle things up. You have to coax us, or we keep it all inside, and misunderstandings grow. Jason arched a brow. Sunlight fell across his eyes, softening their chill. He said, "And how exactly should I coax you?" I chose my words carefully. Not me. Jessica, your first love. It's been days. She must be worried about you, he replied offhandedly. Didn't know you were so good at thinking for others. His tone confused me. A few days ago he'd been clinging to her. Now he was so cold. I said, "You two were so in love once. You must have split because of a misunderstanding. When could this stand-in finally bow out? Isabel, that's not something you should worry about." He cut me off, dropped his head back to work, clearly unwilling to continue. I let it go. The room fell quiet. Jason's leg healed well, and soon he was discharged. Thanks to my good behavior, he finally eased his guard with me. After he returned to work, he no longer restricted my movements. But no matter where I went, 2 burly bodyguards tailed me. At the mall, a kid pointed at me curiously. "Mom, is she a mob boss?" The woman quickly covered her child's mouth, gave me an apologetic look, and hustled him away. The panic on her face, as if I'd order a beating if displeased, made me want to crawl into the ground. Couldn't Jason send 2 who looked less terrifying? These 2 looked so vicious they scared even me. I only relaxed once I ducked into the restroom. But there, unexpectedly, I ran into someone. Jessica, Jason's first love. She was touching up her lipstick. When she saw me, she wasn't surprised at all. I leave for a few years and you slip right in. But a stand-in is still a stand-in, never the real thing. She snapped her lipstick shut. "I thought you'd know your place. Turns out you're greedy, reaching for what isn't yours." I gave a casual "oh." Then maybe the real one shouldn't have handed the chance to the stand-in. "You!" My words hit a nerve. Jessica's face twisted with spite. Her hand lifted for a slap. I raised mine too, and met her palm in a high five. Her eyes widened, caught off guard by the switch. But soon she noticed the marks on my neck, her gaze darkening. "Let's talk." The woman who had just been arrogant suddenly turned calm. I frowned. "Talk about what?" "I'll help you leave Jason. He'll never find you. I'll give you a huge sum enough to live comfortably abroad. In return, you'll never come back to wreck us again." When I got home, the sun was still high. I lounged on the rooftop swing chair and dozed off. By the time I woke, night had fallen. As I headed downstairs, I heard a loud crash and Jack's voice. "Mr. Jason, we checked. Miss Jessica was at that mall this afternoon. The cameras show her handing Miss Isabel a plane ticket. If that's true, and Miss Isabel hasn't come back, she could already be on a flight overseas." Another crash. Something thrown hard. "Find her. Bring her back! I'd never heard Jason so shaken, his voice even trembling. As he stormed out with Jack to look for me, I came down the stairs. Our eyes met. Everything went silent. He froze, staring like he couldn't believe it. Isabel, he rasped, as if confirming. You didn't leave. Leave! I was napping on the rooftop swing all afternoon. I rushed to explain. Realization hit him. He strode over and crushed me in his arms. His head pressed to my shoulder. His voice was harsh, yet pitiful. I thought you'd left me again. I promised you I wouldn't suddenly go. The mood was too heavy, so I joked. Jessica's offer was way lower than yours. I'm not stupid. His whole body eased. Whatever you want, I'll give it. Just don't go. Then I understood his odd attitude toward Jessica. He'd lost part of his memory in a car accident, the part of his life when they were in love. Jason said, when I woke up, everyone told me how much I'd loved Jessica, that we were even engaged. But when I saw her, I felt nothing. I wasn't convinced. You don't love someone that deeply and then feel nothing. Even with amnesia, your body would still react. How could there be no trace at all? I thought it over, then asked, but that night you rushed out during dinner, wasn't it to be with her? With her? He blinked. I went to see my grandfather. He said he was dying, but it was just an excuse to get me home for dinner. As for Jessica, my cousin brought her along. They're classmates. I showed him Jessica's photo from that day. Then why were you two so close? Look at her eyes. So soft on you. He glanced at the picture and suddenly laughed. What's so funny? He leaned to my ear. You're jealous, aren't you? I'm not. He cupped my chin, turned my face, studying me. Turns out, jealousy looks adorable on you. I tried to deny it, but he pulled me against him and opened his phone. He showed me another photo. I froze. It wasn't just the two of them, there were many people in frame, all smiling at the camera. Jason alone wasn't looking. Jessica had cropped it, leaving just the two of them, erasing the rest. You were looking at her. I pointed at his gaze. Still say you weren't. He tapped my nose. I was looking at my phone. He zoomed in. Sure enough, he had a phone in his hand. From that angle, it looked like he was staring at Jessica. Jason swiped to another photo. Me sprawled in sleep, collarbones marked with love bites. His eyes softened. I love this one. Feels like I see the real you through it. Since being with him, I'd always played the obedient role, rarely my true self. So that day, he was smiling at my photo. One last question, I said. Suddenly he scooped me up bridal style. What are you? I gasped. We'll talk in bed. You're too cute when you're jealous. I can't hold back. Jason, can't you control yourself? I really can't keep up. He raised his eyes, pointedly. I'm not some young pup with boundless energy. That's why I have to try harder. Still holding that grudge. The night blazed on. I was spent, unable to move. He nipped my ear. Didn't you have one last question? Forget it. Why? Afraid the answer will get you too smug. Whatever I said, he took it as jealousy. At last, after his repeated promises not to twist it, I asked, that day during the finance interview, why'd you deliberately show the hickey on your neck? For my grandfather. Grandfather? Jason's grandpa. He's always wanted me to marry Jessica. That was me showing him where I stand. Where you stand. My heart suddenly raced. Jason froze, his gaze deep, reflecting my flushed face. He said solemnly, Isabel, I want to marry you. Wait, did I save the universe in my past life? A stand-in lover rising to become the Smith heir's wife? I said, I don't agree. He stared at me. Why not? You could say you don't love your first love anymore. So what if one day you lose your memory again and forget me? Your second moon. Then I'd lose both love and money. Who would I even complain to? Tomorrow, I'll draft a property transfer contract. All my assets, including myself, will be yours. The entire fortune of Beijing's crown prince? That had to be astronomical. I wouldn't dare dream of it. Are you serious? His eyes were devout, solemn. He pressed a soft kiss to my forehead. Serious. I trust my feelings. Every time I see you, I feel happy and fulfilled. Jason saying sweet words with that ascetic face, it was lethal. Somehow, I wasn't so afraid of the worst outcome anymore. But I didn't expect the worst to be kidnapping. After we confessed our feelings, our relationship heated fast. That day I was heading to his company to surprise him. Instead, someone drugged me on the street. I woke in a stinking car. Two shifty men inside. Realizing I'd been kidnapped, I kept calm. How much do you want? Jason will pay anything. We don't want money. We want you. Tisk. Such tender skin. To think we'll share the same woman as the capital's crown prince. Worth it for a lifetime. The one beside me leered. Reaching out, the driver suddenly cursed. Shit, they're on us already. I saw several cars closing in. The blonde driver tried to shake them, but couldn't. They clung tight. What now, Brother Lou? Don't worry. I know these streets will lose 'em. Dark clouds swelled. Then rain poured down. Blondie drove like a madman, and gradually, unbelievably, shook the pursuers. My dread only grew, but I didn't dare move. Just as Blondie whistled, thinking we'd lost them, a car shot out at the corner, blocking our path. He swore, slammed the brakes, but the rain-slick road betrayed us, tires skidded. The car and all of us crashed through the guardrail, plunging into the river. In that instant, I swore I heard Jason screaming my name. Figures. Luck was never on my side. What wasn't mine would never last. When I woke, a white ceiling filled my vision. Heaven? This heaven smelled like disinfectant. I shifted, pain shooting everywhere. Turning my head, I saw Jason sitting beside me. His usual immaculate appearance was gone. Dark circles under his eyes. Stubble on his chin. At my stir, he looked over. Seeing me awake, his eyes reddened. I smiled weakly. Does the crown prince shed pearls? Yes. He pulled me gently into his arms, like I was a lost treasure recovered. I searched so long for you. Sunshine spilled through the window, bathing us both. It all came back, the lost memories. The one Jason had loved when young wasn't Jessica. It was me. We'd both lost our memories in a car accident. The Smiths and Millers had erased every trace of our past together. They made Jason believe the girl he'd loved was Jessica. And me, they'd thrown me far away to another city. By chance, through my best friend, I came back here. That's when Jason and I crossed paths again. And clicked. So, we were destined all along. Turns out I was his true first love. Me, his white moonlight. Yet I'd been his stand-in mistress for 3 years. A stand-in for myself. What a twisted coincidence. My heart lightened completely. I grinned at him. Stick 'em up. Hand over the cash. It's all yours. I'll use it to keep a man. His eyes narrowed. What did you say? Keep you. Good. Later, Jason uncovered who was behind my kidnapping. The Miller family, trying to force a Smith-Miller marriage alliance. When Jason learned this, he only chuckled darkly, sending chills down my spine. Within a year, the Millers were quietly bankrupted by his hand. By then, full power of the Smiths was in Jason's control. Old Mr. Smith had no choice but to press us to marry, desperate for a great-grandson. At Jason's efficiency, it wouldn't take long, but he didn't want anyone disturbing our world of two so soon. Not even our own child. He insisted on precautions every time, so there was still no sign. After regaining his memory, Jason was even clingier. If before he'd restrained himself, now he'd dropped the act completely. That towering possessiveness, he'd even swat a male mosquito dead if it bit me. He gave me so much protection. I no longer feared being just a substitute. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you open your heart to let someone love you fully? I gave in, enjoying life. When he pushed too far at night, I no longer endured. I'd kick him off the bed, banish him to the study. Though at midnight, the bastard would sneak back. I won't mess around tonight. With repeated promises, he held me in his arms. That night, we did nothing, just talked, laughed, and fell asleep together. I finally believed it. Even if memory fails, bodies still remember love.